Welcome back. This is the Burning Issues Podcast. I'm James Williams.
I'm Will.
And this is the Foreign Relations episode. Foreign policy.
Foreign policy, foreign relations.
Same thing.
All in the same ballpark.
So we got a couple things we want to lay out today, and
Do we want to start with explaining what foreign relations is? Just a brief.
We can, yeah. So foreign relations, at least from my perspective on how we're talking about it, is how United States policy and laws affect the world around us, as well as the United States.
I can get behind that. That's solid. Yes. Solid.
We got a couple things that I know I want to hit on, so we'll see what you got to hit on. But let's start off with Ukraine.
Yes. So.
Oh, before I say that, I titled this part, foreign aid and global entanglements. That's what it is.
Yeah. So we starting with Ukraine, huh?
I might take the United States in the west, Ukraine in the east, but all right, anyway.
So essentially, what I got is a whole lot of spending. A whole lot of spending going to Ukraine and not going back to the American people, where this money is going towards a country that we are not. We're allies with, but not. It's not a what's the word I'm looking for? It's not a outstanding alliance.
Right.
So it's a whole bunch of money to this country that's more or less not in the wrong, but Ukraine 110% could have prevented this war.
Oh yeah.
And in that case, the United States could save some money. Billions of dollars isn't. It's a good chunk to the United States government.
Sure is.
Good chunk. So, just to get started, there's numbers all over the place on the internet. So, what I have is $113.4 billion to Ukraine so far from the United States alone.
I got $175 billion.
Okay.
Per the Council on Foreign Relations. $175 billion right there at the top. And just so no one's confused, I'm gonna show you on the front. So very reputable source.
And where will this be at? Not down below. No, not down below. No way.
Well, it will be down below. One of the links, just click on it, read it. Look, like we said last episode, you don't have to take anything for our word or what we say. That's why I put it in the description.
Of course. So numbers vary.
Yeah.
So across the internet, I'm not sure because I think it has something to do with what they count as money to Ukraine. Is that in equipment? Is that in cash? Is that in production costs? It's a very, it's a very. No one gives a solid number, but we're just going to rock with a lot of money. You said 175 billion. I'm saying 113 billion. It's a lot of money. Some sources say more, some sources say way less. But it's a lot of U.S. taxpayer money going to a country across an ocean. Yeah. On quite literally the other corner of the globe.
Yeah, I'll add to that and say U.S. taxpayer money that is not going to U.S. taxpayers.
Of course.
So, I think we brought this up to say, or at least I brought this up to say, that this money could be going other places.
Mm-hmm.
Many other places. We got, you could do public works, public infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
You could get back to the veterans.
I crunched some numbers if you're interested in to hear. Yeah. So, my $113 billion to Ukraine so far could have, you hear billion and you hear all these words, 113.4 billion, that you can't, it's such a large number, you can't imagine it. So, to put in perspective, with that money, you could have paid every single American $327, roughly. That's how much money we're talking about. You could have filled 567 million potholes. So just imagine where you live at, all these potholes. Or for, global warming keeps popping up. But for all you global warming experts out there, apparently you have to choose over Ukraine or global warming because just with the money sent to Ukraine alone, just Ukraine alone, you could power New York or multiple smaller cities with nuclear power for 20 years, which is clean energy.
Right.
So, but let's just give it to Ukraine.
Yeah.
For something they don't want to leave.
Yeah. Also, that brings up the topic of NATO. So, I mean, I guess technically it's foreign relations. So, I'm not really sure why we're still in NATO. Because, I mean, wasn't that because of World War II?
That was.
If I'm not mistaken, that was because of war. And we're not in a world war that I know of.
Nope.
So why are we in that?
Nope.
Knowing that, I think it's Article 4, that attack on one is attack on all. So if Ukraine joins NATO, guess what? We're in a war.
We're in a war with Ukraine. Very fun. Very fun.
But we already in a little proxy war now, sending them all this money and all these different weapons. But speaking of weapons, let me talk about a couple of those that we sent over there. So let me get segue into other places where we left weaponry and I guess you could say money as well, because I guess we just got money to give away.
Well, yeah, we'll just print more of it. That's how it works. So,
right here by the Council of Foreign Relations, we have infantry and arms equipment, 10,000 Javelin anti-armor systems. So that's a rocket launcher. 90,000 other anti-armor systems and munitions. 100,000 sets of body armor and helmets, night vision devices, C4, claymores, explosive ordnance disposal units. Let's talk about air defense. 1 Patriot air defense battery and munitions. Vampire anti-drone systems and munitions. Anti-drone laser guided rockets. This is all in Ukraine right now.
Yep.
What else? Let's talk about. I don't know if we talk about jets, but manned aircraft. 20 Mi-17 helicopters. Artillery.
Bunch of artillery.
Yeah.
A lot.
40,000 anti-armor mine rounds. 7,000 precision guided rounds. 800,000 howitzer rounds.
We got hundreds of thousands of artillery shells.
Exactly.
Which, no, sorry to interrupt, but some of those shells have been signed by Zelensky on American soil, which is insane to me. He flew over here to Pennsylvania. Let me see. He went to the Scantron Army Ammunition Plant, or SCAAP, in Lackawanna County, Pennsylvania. He signed six artillery shells while smirking.
Crazy. And
you got these people saying, "Oh, well, Americans did the same thing on the atomic bomb." Blah blah blah. It's like, yeah, we did, but A, we're in that war.
Exactly.
B, those bombs were known to end the World War
completely. Right
there, just with those 2 bombs. But these little shells, he's smirking as he's signing it on American soil.
Yeah, and if the war is so bad, what's he smirking for? Aren't these people dying? Aren't other people dying?
Yeah.
So I don't really understand that. But also, I like to add to the list of stuff that they left. 31 Abrams tanks.
Oh yeah.
Come on, that's what, multiple million to make, I'm sure. 1,000 MRAP vehicles. 300 armored medical treatment vehicles. 189 Stryker armored personnel carriers. I just don't understand. So if they the U.S. government cares so much about us, right? Then why is 175 billion going to Ukraine?
Because they're making jobs, James.
Oh.
That's what they like to say. They're making jobs by making ammunition. And so that's fine. It's to cost everyone in America taxpayer dollars instead of going back to America for a couple hundred or a couple thousand jobs. Makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you want to culminate or encompass the political ideas of the U.S. government, just give everything away and do the opposite of what's good for the American people. Yep. That seems to be the current, administration.
Oh.
They just like see what's good and do the complete opposite of that. With no remorse, no nothing, and then gaslight people and say, "Oh, we really care about you."
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We really care about black people or the gays, but they just playing the normal chess game that they always do.
It's all about money. It's all about money. Also, to add to your list, we have 400 million rounds of ammunition, which last time I checked, America is in ammunition shortage.
Yeah.
But we just dishing out money and or the live rounds itself over there to Ukraine. So, again, the world police over its own citizens.
Yeah.
They rather police the world than, take care of us.
Yeah, I don't understand why we playing Big Brother to everybody, but last time I checked, we got our... Look, if you got problems in your own house, you don't go and knock on your neighbor's door and say, can I help you? No. Oh. You got to get your own house in order first, and then you can help somebody else.
See, I wouldn't have much of a problem with this if America was in tip-top shape either.
Exactly.
But we have so many issues. We have all this money sending out, and supposedly, in our own backyard, Florida, we're giving a household $750. And, I don't know how valid that number is, how real that number is, $750, but I know for a fact that FEMA said they're out of money. But yet we're still sending money to Ukraine. So, without a doubt, we're sending money out the door, not in our own backyard.
That's so ironic. FEMA is out of money. The Federal Emergency Management Agency.
Oh yeah.
Is out of money.
And
when its whole purpose is to be the emergency management. Alright.
I wonder how they run out of money, James.
I guess. I guess it just disappeared. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
I guess it just grew legs and walked out of the bank or walked out wherever they were storing it. Because it couldn't possibly be because they're sending it to Ukraine.
No.
That would make too much sense.
No. Or spending on illegal immigrants.
That's a whole different issue.
Yeah, that's more of a backyard issue.
Yeah,
but
stay tuned for the illegal immigrants issue. That'll be a part of the new series, Hot Seat.
Which is coming soon.
Yeah,
Hot Seat is coming soon, very soon.
But to shift from that, we can talk about Afghanistan, where we basically did the same thing, but at least the equipment that we gave to Ukraine is being used in the way that we intended.
Yeah, at least it's being used in the hands we give it to,
exactly.
Not the complete opposite.
Yeah, so when did we pull out of Afghanistan? 22?
Right in there.
No. It was when Biden first got it, so it had to be 20.
Yeah, okay. 20, 21, 22.
Yeah, so...
Right in there.
If y'all don't remember, we pulled out, and Trump was leaving office, so he already had a plan to slowly bring stuff out and bring the gear out and then the troops. Right? And the Biden administration scratched that plan and ended up leaving, according to factcheck.org. And this is not right-wing based or anything. They said that the Republicans were estimating $83 billion, but the Democrats are estimating $75 million. But either way, once again, money out of the American taxpayers' pocket and into the hands of known terrorists. Throw women off buildings, slit throats, kill Americans.
Yep. Just give it to them.
And on top of that, which we should add in the description, not too long ago they had a parade with all the American equipment.
Oh, of course. Yeah, of course. I was about to bring that up, yeah.
Exactly. So that's a slap in the face, not only to American people, but all the men and women who served and seen, their brothers and sisters die.
Of course. So, I got this nice little chart here. See, this is why we need an overhead camera.
Yeah, we're going to get one.
We're going to get an overhead camera to the desk. So, anyway, my chart, again, in the description. This is according to the Congressional Budget Office.gov, another valid source. Basically, this chart has Ukraine, Israel, Afghanistan, Jordan, Ethiopia, Egypt, Yemen. A bunch of these countries where we give money to, and I don't know how good y'all can see this. Ukraine's at the top, and it just far surpasses every other country we give aid to. Which, may I mind you, these other countries are way better allies than Ukraine. We're only giving Ukraine this stuff because Russia put a bunch of troops on the border, and then Ukraine acted on it, provoking an invasion.
Right. Which, historically, Ukraine is a part of Russia, so that's like getting in a fight with your cousin. You let them fight it out. And then, because if we all a family, which the United States and Ukraine aren't, but Russia and Ukraine are basically related closely. So we shouldn't even be in the middle of that. Let them fight it out. You know what I'm saying? Do what they need to do, and just stay out of it.
The best way I like to explain this is there are many reasons why Russia invaded Ukraine. It's not just this, but a main reason is Ukraine was talks with joining NATO.
Yeah, and we kept pushing eastward, which you said we wouldn't.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So Russia doesn't like NATO, and Ukraine, who are their neighbor, wants to join NATO.
Right.
So to put that in perspective, that's like Mexico wanting to join a tight alliance with North Korea, China, or Russia. Mm-hmm. What would the United States do to Mexico? We border them.
Right. We take some type of action.
We of course we take some type of action.
Mm-hmm. No, that makes
it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. You know, I'm not pro Russia or communist or anything like that, but the United States has come way too far of helping out. It's turned into a complete proxy war, like you said, at this point.
Mm-hmm. I'm pro-American, so let's put America first.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of being all over the world doing this, and that. When we got problems at home, we need to go back to isolationism.
Many problems at home.
Yeah, at least a brief period. So we're not involved in everything else. Because we already got a bad rap for trying to be Big Brother all around the world.
Yep. And then people get mad at us when we're not Big Brother. Mm-hmm. Then we pick fights when we are Big Brother. It's like, why? It sounds like a win-win to me. Mm-hmm. We give the world police title to someone else. We fix a bunch of our own problems within the states. Right. It sounds like a win-win. What could go wrong?
It sounds like it wouldn't to me. We was doing that at one point, and we didn't have a war for like 40, 50 years.
Yep.
So, it's just the people who are in power, they're trying to push for this new agenda, this globalism idea. So, the U.S. has to be Big Brother to everybody else, because they want to push it that way. So, we always involved in all these different entanglements. Then, the world is already interconnected, and that's just making it more. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. I mean,
NATO's at this point. NATO served its purpose. Now it's just a ticking time bomb of World War III.
Indeed,
that's all it is.
I agree. And I guess you could add on top what you said about NATO. The reason that Putin was upset is because we have troops and jets and everything else and bombs on its border. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's justifiable that he's upset.
Oh yeah.
But the U.S. military leadership definitely know better than that. So that means they do it on purpose.
It's all to make money. Someone in the United States is making major amounts of money.
Yeah, somebody, definitely. Somebody's lining their pockets.
Oh yeah, it's all about money.
On the back of somebody's son or daughter dying and all that. It's just more adds to the point that the United States government does not care about the United States.
So that's about Ukraine. What else is going on? Foreign relations.
I was going to talk a little bit about BRICS. We already hit Afghanistan. The same story. Leave a bunch of money over there. Nobody cares. People get upset. They don't care. Don't do nothing about it.
Yep.
And so it's a cycle.
Yep.
But BRICS stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right? So it's an economic alliance, and the idea behind it is, and quote, to end the bullying, or I guess you say the manipulation of other economies with the U.S. dollar. You know, we the world reserve currency. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we've been bullying people this whole time, with tariffs and different types of things. So they figured, I'm tired of this. Yeah. So they gained together, and it was established in 2009. So I was sitting in class, because people don't know how I go. But anyway, I was sitting in class, and one of my teachers was telling us how the world used to be, or the way you used to take power in the old world was imperialism. Like, you have the biggest army, so you go and take people down. But now, as we can see with this BRICS thing and what we've been doing over the past years in the United States is through economic power. Mm-hmm. And being able to leverage the dollar or leverage whatever currency it is to bring other nations into subjection. So Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, they tired of that.
Understandably.
Yeah, so they came up with the
More
BRICS.
or less.
They came up with the BRICS. And that is, they're going to be under one currency. But they started to move digital. But the base of it is they're going to be under one currency. And that currency, they use to trade with each other. Right? And then that currency is backed by gold. And they have to put a certain number of their currency up.
Wow. Okay.
So it's automatically, if this is a long-term move, they already smoked the dollar. Because we have nothing backing the dollar.
Yes, we have nothing backing the American dollar. I think that is the biggest mistake one of the biggest mistakes America has ever had is ditching the gold standard.
Yeah, who's that, Nixon?
I believe so. Yeah. We have nothing to back up the American dollar. We just have paper backing paper. That's all we got. Not an outside source telling us what the value of the dollar is. It's just the United States government telling us what the value of the dollar is.
And we see that crumbling as we speak.
Yep, as we speak.
Day by day, the dollar gets weaker and weaker. And I could see if we were going to do something about it or we were going to change our policies, but the people in power in economic places where they can, institute these different policies are not doing nothing about it.
No.
They're sitting there watching other nations mobilize to take us down.
Yep.
Which is incredible.
In real time.
It's incredible. I don't understand. So, like I said earlier, it has to be engineered.
Oh, 100.
It has to be engineered.
100% it's engineered.
I just can't believe. So you're gonna destroy your entire country with yourself in it? Okay, that makes sense. Because it's like we don't know who did this.
Oh, yeah.
We all know who did this, and they think they're gonna get away with it.
So who you think did, James? Just to clarify for the people who aren't as familiar.
There's a lot of different entities that have stock in it, but one name that I'll throw out there is Klaus Schwab and his posse, WEF.
And his posse.
They're some heavy hitters.
We've had an episode on them.
Yeah, we have.
On him and them.
Yeah, but it's all these different people who want control. So if they can control the money, they can control the food, they can control the weather, which you talked about, and they can control policy, it's over with. So BRICS, I don't know if they're gonna use that to eventually, bring us under that idea of interconnectedness, the one worldness, but they could definitely use it to bring down the West.
Oh,
easily.
I think best case scenario is the United States joins it, and then we're back to one world order type of deal. Worst case scenario, they just collapse the American dollar.
I think if we join it, we'd have to join it from a position of weakness, one, and two, we wouldn't be the world power anymore, so we'd probably get bullied.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which, I don't know about you, I don't like bullies.
No.
Never have.
No.
Never been a bully, but I don't like bullies. The best way to beat a bully is to punch him in his mouth. So we need to get to punching people in their mouth. Because, look, I'm not saying we do all the best things.
But no, James, instead of, confronting an actual threat and spending time and money to an actual threat, we're going to spend time and money in Ukraine and places like that. Last time I checked, Brazil is on the closest continent, South America, to us.
Yes.
So they're right there. Right below Mexico, they're right there.
Yeah, they are. But they recently had some other nations join BRICS. I think it's like 22 countries now, give or take. Mm-hmm. We got Saudi Arabia, Ethiopia, Egypt, all these different countries joining. So it sounds like to me this is a get down or lay down situation. Either we're going to make a better economic policy, which I don't know what we're going to do now. Because, the debt is like 31 trillion or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's got to come down before we build something new. But that's what they always said. Build back better the great reset.
Who said that? Your buddy? Schwab?
The great. We have to be prepared for an angrier world. A great reset.
Pretty good impression.
I know, man. I hate him.
And just to clarify, we're not saying the gold standard's bad. The gold standard is actually, like I said before, very good.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a scary thought that this collection of countries, a lot of them which United States does not like or is not a fan of, they're making one currency to bring down the American dollar, and the American dollar more or less runs the world.
Yes.
That's the issue at hand, to boil it all down.
And if we no longer have that leverage over the world, then you don't really got much.
Yeah.
We keep giving away military equipment. So what else do we have? So that's neutered us in two ways. You don't have the military we used to have, due for many, many different reasons. Many different reasons. And we don't have the economic or the dollar strength that we used to have. So there's two avenues that we use to impose on the world for like the last 70 years.
Mm-hmm. And they're both about to
be
gone. Just like that.
I don't know what they're doing, but you don't have to be like this. You don't have to be a history expert or anything to look around and see like something's wrong.
No, it's common sense.
Something's fishy.
It's common sense. So it's just common sense.
It is.
You don't have to be a politician. You don't have to be an economist. You don't have to be anybody in particular to see that a collection of countries going on the gold standard to throw off the American dollar is no good.
Mm-hmm. But I also like to raise the so not only are we getting, we're starting to see the effects of BRICS, or at least their intended goal, but not only that, we have a lack of energy independence. So that's another thing that's going to be affecting our economy. Mm-hmm. So we used to have energy independence. We used to have oil and natural gas and everything we need, but somebody got in and just turned that off.
Yes, so someone got in and wanted to, again, for the global warming agenda, they're like, we're going to stop producing oil, or a lot of oil in the United States, and start buying. We're going to start buying oil from these other countries. What sense does that make? If you're going to push for why? America has a whole lot of oil, untapped oil.
Yep.
It's no we're going to run out of oil in a couple of years, blah blah blah. No. America has a whole bunch of untapped oil, and we're paying for it. Energy runs the world. If energy goes up, the cost of shipping things go up. Everything goes up. Mm-hmm. Everything is affected, and the United States is just buying energy from outside countries.
Yep.
0 cents.
You remember the Keystone Pipeline?
Yes.
That was a big deal.
Yep.
That was a big deal. And that was right around 2020. Trump had built it, and they were about to, sign off on it and let it be done. Nope, turn it off.
Yes, and I wasn't prepared to talk about this topic, but I recall that the train freight company and Joe Biden had a little thing right before he cut off the pipeline.
Oh, I never heard of that.
So since Joe cut off the pipeline, then the only way to transport the little oil that is being produced now is via train.
Wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me. Joe don't got a good track record for being a squared away guy.
No, and his VP doesn't either.
Nope. So, in this push for green energy, I understand. I have no.
Got a minute left before a break.
Got a minute left. So this is segue a little bit into green energy. So as we were talking about before, green energy, and the idea, they want to push for green energy. I think that's fantastic. I don't have no problem with nuclear or solar, but the whole purpose of green energy is that once you get it in, you don't have to do anything. It's renewable, and you don't have to pay anything else. And it should bring
more or less.
Yeah. Well, you have to pay something, but it would be significantly less than if you were using something that was like gas or oil.
Supposedly.
Yeah. But the idea behind that is, at least it don't make sense to me, is you have to take up so much more space to put a solar farm or a wind farm or a nuclear power plant. Mm-hmm. So, unless we go all of a sudden come up with all this money, which, according to what we just said, is going other places, Ukraine and Afghanistan, I don't know how they're going to implement that.
Yeah, so that's what I was chiming in before. How it's hilarious how select group of people are all for renewable energy and whatnot, but they're also for sending billions of dollars to Ukraine and outside of these, you know, according to them, we have an energy crisis right now.
No.
And we have, we have an energy crisis. Well, we don't have an energy crisis, but we have a clean energy crisis. You know, everyone's trying to convert to clean energy, blah, blah, blah. But yet we're still sending money.
Yes, to other places.
To other places.
And not putting into the green agenda.
Which, solar. There's a bunch of issues. There's issues with every type of energy.
Right.
Right, renewable or not. Solar takes a lot of space.
Yep.
Lots of batteries made from minerals.
Yeah,
lithium, and usually those are mined in with slave labor.
Yeah.
So that's solar, and of course, unless you don't have a bunch of batteries, solar only works half the time due to daylight and whatnot. Then you got wind, which wind is actually incredibly non-green and ineffective because those turbines only last 10 to 20 years and they can't be recycled. And they take up a lot of space. And then nuclear, I'm all for nuclear, but again, you have the waste from it, nuclear waste from it and whatnot. So all these energy sources have pros and cons, of course.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, until they can figure out where they're gonna get the money from, where they're gonna put them at, and the efficacy of it long term, I don't see why they keep pushing that. Because to me, it's just another locus of control that they're looking for.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, I've said it. Just with Ukraine, you could power all of New York or 7 to 10 small cities for 20 years just with the money we sent to Ukraine.
But to me, that's just virtue signaling. They want to be like, oh, we care about the environment. Oh, we care about Ukraine. We care about this, and that. But actions don't match up with the words.
No.
You're saying this, but you're doing something else. You're a liar. You're a liar. Point blank. But on the topic of that, we push. So first things first. Let me backtrack. If we're going to do all these Green Deal projects, where are we going to get the money from? Like I said before. And we're going to send money out of the United States to get the parts and to do the production.
Yeah, exactly.
So, once again, giving money away. Look, this is just basic financial advice. If you want to keep money, you keep it. But if you keep giving money out, you ain't going to have no money.
Mm-hmm.
It's as simple as that.
Yes. And I just want to mention that during the Kamala Harris and Trump debate, Kamala Harris was bashing Trump for his tariffs on imported goods coming into America. And Kamala Harris is talking about how, if we have tariffs, then the taxpayer is going to be paying more for those products.
That's not how that works.
Right. Which, in the idea on paper is there, but that's not how that works. Tariffs also drive companies to make more in America. Like Toyota's a great example. Toyota, Japanese car manufacturers saw that America was buying a bunch of their vehicles, and Toyota was sick of paying tariffs. Mm-hmm. So like, okay, let's build a few factories in America. Boom, now we have American jobs, more money being in a closed economy. It's a win-win it's the win-win for the company and a win-win for the American people. So tariffs promote a circular economy for America.
Yeah. And to piggyback off that, we had a circular economy in America, but it's been in a steady decline since World War II. Mm-hmm. We had all these factories, because of the wars, we had all the factories producing like ammo or what have you. And we just decided that, we're going to send all our production overseas. Which is essentially a death shot to any nation.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
The more production power you can keep in an economy or in the nation, the stronger they'll be, because I'm not dependent on you to do something. I got people who can do it, and I'm paying them to do it. So it's a win-win. That's all it is to it. But to tie in the first point, the idea that you can see it everywhere and CNN and ABC and Fox and this and that. It don't matter what media outlet it is. They all pushing the idea that we need to be global citizens. We need to be interconnected, right? Which I think, okay, it sounds good. That sounds cool. But once again, with these people, it's always, it sounds good, but it's really not. So, with the idea of, let me just take something, for example.
What you thinking?
Let's take the idea of the global ID, because that's all I hear about now. Like, China already has a global ID.
Can you explain what a global ID is?
A global ID is the idea that, so they take your face or whatever. This is just a rough draft, my perspective. They take your face, they take a picture of it, and then they assign you this ID number, but it's globally. So the database is globally. So let's say I scan your face at the airport. You pull up your profile and all that, which, okay, cool. Like, if that's a security thing, that could be cool. But the idea of that, it's a little scary to me. That seems very, not scary. I wouldn't say scary.
I would say scary.
No. That's concerning. That's more of a, it's like stuff you see in the movies.
Yeah.
But the Chinese people, they already have first-hand idea of that social credit score type of mindset. As you walk down the street, they got they got like 4 or 5 cameras on the corner.
Oh,
looking at every different direction, scanning all the faces. No. Because if you got a global ID, it means every nation in the world that's a part of the system knows who you are, what you did, if you do something bad. So let's say, because they like green energy, I drove a diesel truck to work today. Minus 25 points.
Yep.
Minus 30 points.
Yep.
So you can't give up privacy for safety.
Another thing with the global ID is, let's say you mess up bad in America. I don't know what you did, whatever. Now they have that on your global ID, on your profile. So you can't go anywhere in the world without them knowing what you did.
Right.
No more fresh starts, no start over, no nothing.
Yeah, so like even if you didn't do anything bad, but let's say you talk bad about a sitting government official. Now they got everybody looking after you.
Yep.
So these people like control.
It's all about control. All about control.
So this global ID also ties to CBDC. So if y'all don't know, I'll give you a brief explanation. Central bank digital currency. So they got the global ID, right? They know who you are all around the world. Then they need the next piece is a central currency. So one currency that everybody uses in the world. So that's 2 locuses of control. I know who you are, and I know you got to spend my money. So I know where you spend your money at.
Yep. Sounds like it could be BRICS in the near future.
Could be. If BRICS really take off.
Could be BRICS.
The United States government will have to get on board. I mean, they don't have to. But the way they act, they probably will.
They don't have to get on board, but they'll definitely be cornered onto getting on board.
Which is, I got to give it to Putin. Because he was the one who founded BRICS 2009. Very, very strategic move.
Oh, of course.
That was long term. He was thinking 25 moves ahead. 2009 is 2024. Come on.
Oh.
That's Sun Tzu Art of War thought.
Art of War. Art of War.
So, the CBDC, I think, I don't think there's any argument. If you know where I spend my money, how I spend my money, then you control me. Because you can tell me what not to buy.
Yep.
Like if I want to buy ammo for my 9mm, and you, for some reason, there's a policy against guns.
Denied.
All right.
Denied.
If I want to buy survival food, why are you buying survival food? You can't do that. Denied.
Denied.
Or if I want to support a political candidate that I like, give money to the campaign. Nope, you can't do that. And that's the problem.
It's their money. It's their currency.
Exactly. That's the problem with these global systems. It's like, so like you got, to a certain degree, you already got one handcuff on the United States, right? They kind of already know what we do through the iPhone and everything else that we have. And they always violate the Patriot Act when you go through the airport to scan your face. But if they put a global system in place, you stuck now.
The guy you cuffed.
Both hands. But they slowly putting the cuffs on, just incrementally, and then clicked in. But you didn't even notice. It's like the boiling frog analogy, where like if you put a frog in water and it's cold water and you immediately switch it to hot, it don't get out. But Oh no, if you gradually raise his temperature, he doesn't notice, don't get out, then he'll die. But if the water's cold and you switch to hot, he jump out.
Yep.
I just think we got to talk more about these things because that's the only way to beat it.
Of course.
That's the only way to beat it.
Of course.
And another thing that I really think is important is the UBI, which is Universal Basic Currency. So, not only do that the CBDC, which is problem number one. Well, not problem number one. Problem 2 of 3 problems. The Universal Basic Income will be used, or it might not be, but that's what they're talking about, using the CBDC to issue the Universal Basic Income. And if we know anything about, that's essentially welfare. If you know anything about welfare, the more you give people without them working, the less they want to work, and they become apathetic and they become lazy.
Yep.
An apathetic, lazy person is easily controlled.
Oh yeah.
Easily controlled.
Easily. What was that? You showed me a short film. Remember that?
Beyond the Great Reset.
Beyond the Great Reset.
I was talking about that today. Yep.
Go on YouTube. Look up. I don't even know if it's still up there.
No, it's up there. It's not on YouTube. You can find it. Beyond the Great Reset.
Beyond the Great Reset. It's
animated.
It's animated. It's kind of funny. Not funny in the sense of it's funny, but it's funny that how ridiculous it is.
Yeah.
But if you actually think about this stuff and think about it logically, it's very realistic.
Yeah, you can see the pieces.
It's a realistic future.
Yeah, you can see the pieces coming into fruition. They like clicking in over here, like, okay, we just had COVID. Like I said, I'm on YouTube. We just had COVID, and that shut the world down. But people started, as we got to the tail end of that, people started to realize, it wasn't as bad. But they pushed all that fear and propaganda, and now we started to see monkeypox and this and that. But the idea with Beyond the Great Reset was the animated dude in the series, there was a biological weapon, or I guess I shouldn't say that, biological weapon, and it affected his neighborhood. So one of the first scenes you see is 3 buses pull up. There's an armed guard outside. They take him out of his house because he's supposedly been infected. Bring him to the quarantine camp, or I guess FEMA camp, whatever it was. And they fast forward a little bit. And as we go through his story, they do flashbacks of his life to before the supposed outbreak of whatever this is. And then one of the first scenes, besides him leaving, is he wakes up, like the alarm cop wakes him up. He walks over to his desk, sits down, and he has to listen to government news. Mm-hmm. Oh, the COVID deaths is blah, 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 and it's exceeded this number. So they give him fear porn. He goes outside on his balcony. He don't have his mask on. Drone. It switches to this drone POV, and it's like Target, and it says, no mask. Then he go back inside. So, like, the idea of that is just, it's funny. Like, it's funny in the fact that it's funny how ridiculous it is. Yeah, it seems outrageous, but it's only outrageous because it hasn't happened yet. But when it happens, people are going to be like, oh, what happened? Yeah. Because incrementally they was putting them handcuffs on.
Mm-hmm. Slowly raising the temperature of the water, huh?
Exactly. Boiling us. And I think, if anything, if we can sum up this episode, we need to worry about at home. The homeland. You need to worry about America. Not Russia, not China, not Taiwan, not all these Israel. Look, none of them. Mm-hmm. We need to be worried about at home. We got problems at home. We got borders that ain't closed. We got division among the people. We got a lack of production capability, a lack of independence. So
natural disasters.
Corruption
in all political branches.
Yeah, so like I said, we need to get our own house in order to clean house first over here, and then they can do whatever they want globally, as long as they keep American interests at hand.
We can keep tabs on global events, but America has way too many issues, way too many potential fatal blows to be worried about Ukraine.
Yeah, too many holes in our armor.
Yeah, too many weak points, way too many weak points. I remember a couple years ago, I wouldn't say we were on the break, but a civil war was talked about.
Oh yeah.
Like people are like, oh, I swear a civil war is going to happen. Blah 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 blah. How's that possible? When we're aiding all these other countries, but we can't even aid our own citizens.
Tell you what, though. You see all these different movies coming out, like Leave the World Behind, and all these different movies predicting either mass collapse, which I guess it's not really a part of the episode, but we will add this. They talking about how martial law could be in effect after the election because, whatever side wins, the other side going to trip out.
Of course.
And there'll be mass riots and this, and that. And I'm like, okay, that's a valid point. But once again, they always using these different tools to snap their plan in place. So let's say Trump win, most of the world, most of the United States would be happy. But if somehow they use unethical methods to win, Biden administration.
Can't say too much more on YouTube.
Yeah, can't. YouTube like to tie my tongue up. But they use unethical methods to win. Most likely, the people on the right or independents, whatever, they gonna look into that because there was already rumors of it. Now, I wouldn't say that the people on the right are like they're not the people to burn a city down, but they'll get out there. They'll riot. It's like the truckers in Canada or whatever. But
or they might be provoked to riot by the left. January 6th. We need to talk about January 6th.
I thought we did.
Did we?
No.
It might have been a segment.
Yeah, we already know what that was. That was Ray Epps. Drop that name in there. You already know that was provocateur. But so if they either way, they move things to fit their agenda, and if martial law comes in, that's once again goes back to global ID, CBDC, UBI.
Yep.
Once they get us in that box, ain't no coming out.
Nope.
None.
That's all you got, James?
I was gonna talk about illegal immigration, but
go ahead.
Yeah, see, I don't want to say too much because the hot seat episode, but illegal immigration is just. There's a reason cities had walls. I don't think our audience needs to know this, but there's a reason. That China has a great wall. There's a reason Trump wanted to build a wall. There's a reason cities just in the past had walls. Walls keep people you don't want out and the people you do want in.
Yep.
That simple. You might have a gate in that wall, but you are controlling.
Separate the good from the evil.
Exactly. And the idea that we're going to bring all these people here because they deserve a chance. Okay. World ain't fair.
Look. I'm gonna say it. Immigrants are not the issue. Immigrants are not the issue. Illegal immigrants are the issue. Democrats love to put that on Republicans. Oh, you don't like immigration. They're missing that magical I word that flips the script.
Yep.
The people who hate illegal immigrants the most are legal immigrants of the United States because they had to go through all this work of getting into becoming a citizen, doing all this work. They didn't get the free handouts. They didn't get free housing. They didn't get a credit card. So the people who hate illegal immigrants the most are legal immigrants that did the work, and they are now part of what America was built on.
Yep.
All coming together. It's a land of the free.
All created equal.
All created equal.
And people say America's a melting pot, right?
No.
Which, look, we got different cultures and different people come here and this and that. But the fact is, you have these people coming from the Dominican Republic, Haiti, Guatemala, all these different countries, and they doing stuff that American people don't do, like sacrifice dogs, like cut dogs on people's yard. We don't do that. The American dream is the idea that you come over here, you get the opportunity, because up until recently, we've been the place where everybody wants to be at. And you take on some of our ideas and values, and you integrate them into your culture. You don't come in here and tell us what to do. That ain't how it works. So, you said illegal immigration? Illegal immigrants are the problem. Yeah, and people could say our immigration system is messed up, like the asylum seeking process and this and that. And it probably is. I'm sure it is. But the answer is not opening the floodgates.
No.
That's not the answer.
No.
I seen a while back, I had to dig deep in my phone to find this, but a known terrorist from Afghanistan slipped right through the border.
Just come on in. Come on in.
I guess we just got to open door policy now.
Come on in.
Because I remember not too long ago, we fought a war against terrorism. So we just reversing it?
I mean, why not? We just gave them all their stuff. Might as well give them a home, too. We gave them a tank.
That make no sense.
Body armor, guns. We might as well give them a home, too. Right here on the front.
They might as well wash their feet while they at it. Cook them a meal. It's sad to see that the people who supposedly care about the United States, people who are supposed to represent us, are doing outrageous things.
Oh, yeah.
Outrageous.
Oh, yeah. Corruption's at all-time high. Yeah. Corruption is what's killing this country.
A wise man once told me, absolute power corrupts absolutely. We see that all the time. And also, I would like to add, so any Democrat, liberal that's listening, if you think immigration, illegal immigration, either way, no, better yet, let me specify. If you think illegal immigration is so good and so great for the country and the economy or whatever, how about you take into your home a 17-year-old Haitian male immigrant or a 19-year-old military-age Chinese male in your house and tell me how that work out for you. Because I'm not doing it. I don't know you're not in my house. Point blank, period. So, I don't want to hear anything about, oh, y'all don't care about immigration. No. Some of the smartest people we got in the country came from other countries. They did it. They did it legally, and they build rockets or they work on physics or.
Albert Einstein was an immigrant.
See, so I don't have a problem with immigrants. Illegal.
Yeah, that's the key word. That magical I word.
Illegal. So that pretty much wraps up what I had to say.
So yeah, we're gonna wrap this episode up. Foreign relations, and I would like to say, so we mentioned our segment Hot Seat a lot.
Yep.
But I don't think I've given an explanation on Instagram, which y'all should go follow. Burning Issue Podcast. It's on Instagram. It'll pop up. But Hot Seat is where we invite either Democrats, liberals, or anybody who has opposing viewpoints from us, and both parties, so us two and the guest, will get equal amount of time to research a topic known beforehand, and we'll basically discuss the topic. And we're proud to announce that we got 2 contenders coming up, hopefully soon. I just emailed them the topics, so hopefully we'll get word back on what topics we'll be on. But for more information, follow our Instagram.
Yep. Stay tuned on YouTube.
Yes, on YouTube. Next week we'll have another episode.
Yep.
All right.